welcome back. So this is Ruckard Gapstrain strategy part 1. Okay, and Gapstrains means terrain of gaps. Okay, so you've got gap 1 and then you've got gap 2 and you've got this little train about the gaps that you take into account for doing stuff. So I'm going to explain a bit how the hell does this work, and then we will see if it's even profitable. So basically there's this this value here, so you start here and you end here. Okay, so what you have here is you have 112, and then you have 181, and then you have 280. So you sum up these values and you have this train of gaps. However, whenever there is a gap and this is filled, so the gap is filled and you remove it, so that means that you have to add this to on the bottom. You have to ignore this one, and then you have to add this one here. Okay, and then you have to add this one, which you will have to remove at the end. And if a gap is too old, we don't count it. And this is something that we can do with the code from NewViewSum that we had originally. Okay, so yeah, that's it. So this is going to have a value, a price that goes up, a price that goes down, and you also have a price for the red ones, for the bearish fair value gap. Okay, you have a red one, a red price. So we are going to have two RSI, the one about the bullish gaps and the one about the bearish gaps, and we will see what the hell do we do with them. Okay, that's more or less what we would do with. So with those values we plot an RSI of each one of them, and then we'll see if it's any help, if it's of any help or not. So what it's going to be overbought or oversold, it's not going to be the price, but the distance of the gaps that are not filled yet. So if there is too much to be filled, then the price needs to go down. That's the hypothesis. Okay, hypothesis. This is a hypothesis. Okay, that's what we want to do. And so in order to do that, we need an indicator similar to this one. We need an indicator. So look at that, there's this little box here. How do we do the indicator? Well, what we can do is to work from this stuff, which is the UnfairValueGap. We can keep all the stuff about what the hell is this, about the gaps, and then just go from there. And then we will add some settings for the RSI, which will be some RSI specific settings to the gaps. Okay, so let's work on this. So this should we can work on this. We can search indicators, and this is going to be Gapstrain RSI. Yeah, I think I want this to be like this. So this is going to be Gapstrain RSI A Classic. This is going to be an indicator. So if you want to make an indicator, well, I don't care too much about all of this stuff, but nevertheless, so this is going to be A1. We're going to remove all of this because we don't care too much about this stuff. We also want to have a new name, but Gapstrain RSI A1. This is A1 Gapstrain RSI. Not a show title. Okay, we don't need to add anything about this. We probably do not need any of the inputs here. You probably only want, for now, the stuff around these gaps. I'm not sure if I want to keep the RSI settings. I mean, we will have to use them later on. Anyhow, yeah, let's just have these inputs so far. Then we do not need anything related to the strategy, because this is not a strategy. We don't need any of these files. So do we need moving average, trend? No, don't think so. Okay, so here there is some RSI stuff which we could be using also. And FairValueGap. Okay, these are functions for the gaps, so let's keep them. Now we will find some strategies which we don't want at all. Look at this RSI strategy, which we will have to use some of it maybe later on. Let me see. Okay, so here you have ADX protection, and now the UnfairValueGap super strategy starts with all of this, cap distance and so on, final logic, and then you use it. And related to this, there are some stuff. There's something about plotting the value gaps. You detect if there's something or not there. And then there's something about take profit and short and stop loss, which is calculated in based on this. But we don't care about all of this, so I think we can remove everything else, and this is going to be our indicator. Okay. So let's remove more stuff or less or whatever. So the inputs. So what we want as inputs is the type, which by default is high-low. How many bars you want to go back, and then maybe this input's about showing the decision. But then all of this, we don't need any of this because we want every gap to be taken into account actually. So we don't want any stop loss, any take profit percentage. We don't want anything of this, okay? We only want the bare minimum calculus for this. So here you have this calculus, which has some functions up there. By the way, we will have to find and replace all of this. This is not UVG but something else, Gapstrain. This is going to be GT instead of UVG, now that I think about it. Then you've got this you've got this stuff. So you create new arrays at the start, you push into the arrays the different gaps that you find out, and then you remove from the arrays these gaps. The interesting thing here is that if a gap is filled half of it, it doesn't yeah, it doesn't fill it properly. So I'm not sure about this. And what more do we have here? So this helps us to understand if we want to go up or not, if we are inside a ball or if we are inside a bear. Okay, but we don't care anything about this. And this is the gap distance. Okay, well, this is something that we want to work with, if I am not mistaken. Then there's the final logic about going long or short, which we don't care here. Plotting and so on. Okay, let me see. I am supposed to be able to add here indicators, Gapstrain RSI. So this should be something like Gapstrain, okay, Gapstrain RSI. Gapstrain RSI draft indicator. Because we are going to wait. This is the other way around. Indicator or draft. Let me see. Okay. So not sure where to start there here. First of all, we need a way of calculating all of the array distance stuff. So the distance is, so in order to do so we need a float. So this float, we can add this float. Okay, we want to rename everything about this, otherwise this is not going to work properly. So we want to rename UVG, and you want to use Gapstrain RSI, Gapstrain RSI GTR. Yeah, that's what we have used here, isn't it? GTR. Okay, so you want to replace all of this here. You also want to replace UnfairValueGap and say that this is Gapstrain RSI. Okay, then UnfairValueGap, it's also going to be like this. UVG is going to be, wait a minute. Yeah, I mean, maybe this is not maybe it's not a good idea to put the R everywhere, because so the decision about RSI. Yeah, maybe RSI does not need to go here. Okay, let me restore everything here. Let me restore this. Let's start again. Yeah, I don't care to save this. So now UVG is going to be replaced by GT, and UVG is going to be replaced by GT, which is Gapstrain. And UnfairValueGap, wait a minute. Are we doing this properly or not? How the hell do we rename this? Because this is a fair gap issue. I mean, the RSI is something in addition to this. Let's save this and let's restore. Okay. So UVG is going to be the other one thing, which is fair. Okay, so let's rename everything to fair. And then you've got this UnfairValueGap. This is going to be fair value gap with capital letters. FairValueGap. And if you have one with non-capital letters, it's going to be also like this. And UVG should be fair value gap too. I'm not sure if we are missing something here. Bearish, bullish, and so on. UVG. Okay, so UVG should be Are we missing something? Unfair value gap. Unfair value gap. This is going to be fair value gap. So we need to remove these ones. Okay, 27. This is everything about the colors. Fair value gap, fair value gap, distance, and so on. Okay. Yeah, let's save this, and we will say that rename variables to fair value gap. Okay. What more are we going to do? So what I want to do is to have the total of these arrays. So gap distance, we can use this for something else, but okay. So first of all, you want to have what's the you want to have bool total equity. And this is going to be 0 by default. So what you want to do here is to fair value gap and fair value gap. What the hell is this? Fair value gap. Fair value Gapstrain. Okay. Total. Calculus. you also have the same thing but for bears. Okay, so this is bear, and we also use the same thing as here. Okay, so what you do here is just wait a moment, I am doing this wrong. So this is what you want to do. This is the calculus. Okay, so the big question is, how the hell do you calculate this? And so this needs to be done based on this distance percentage. However, what I want to use is these two values, VG close and VG high 2. Okay, this is something that you want to use with the bullish FPG. Okay, so this is what I want to add here. However, this BG close and BG high 2 is based on the current gap, but that doesn't mean that there's a gap here. So the idea is that we just make sure that this is increased by this difference. Now I want to use the value from the current array, and the way of doing this is getting the array value here, which is the highs and the lows. So apparently when you push a staff here, okay, so when you have a bullish, you push high. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, so when you push you push bullish, you have the high 2 from 2 candles ago and the low from 2 candles ago. Wait a minute. Is this right? So let me show. Let me check here. Something here, maybe. Okay, so what the hell was this? I am here and I detect that this is a gap, so I'm using a high 2, so it's 1 2 high 2 and the low from the current one. Okay, wait a minute. So the low one, I need to check this one place where there is not too much, where there are not too many here, because otherwise I get confused here. So here I detect a gap. No, that's not right. I need to detect it here. So this gap is the top value is the lowest point from the current candle, and the top and the bottom value is the high value from 2. Okay, so this is the other way around if you want to calculate the distance, unless I just use the modulus and that's it, because otherwise, I mean, why the hell do I have to work with this? Just do the modulus and that's it. Sometimes I'm a bit so what you want to do here is to take the highs and the lows and just do the modulus and that's it. It's going to be far more easier. So what you want to have here is both highs and both lows, which is here. There's going to be a difference, and then you want the modulus. No, that's not the modulus, the math ABS, which is the absolute value. Okay, so this, yeah, this is properly done. Yeah, that way this is much easier than trying to figure out which is the top and which is the bottom. The same thing happens here. You want to work with var total, and you want to work with var highs and var lows. So let's do it. Var highs and var lows. Var highs, var lows, something. So var total, var total. And that's it. I mean, now you can do an RSI if you want to with those two values, but so far what we are going to do, so gap distance, we can also have a percentage. I don't think we need a percentage of this. I think we just need to sum the values. So this is the final logic about going long or not, and this is the plot. So the plot, it's not going to be any of this, although what you want to have one color or the other one, which are these two colors here. I find this right. So show fair value gaps, show the decision. Okay, so yeah, we need another something. Plot shape. No, we just want to plot value. So what the hell is this? This is total color, and this is this total color. This is show FVG totals. Show FVG totals. That's what we want to have up here instead of whatever it's here. Show VG totals. We don't need this one, if I am not mistaken. This is going to be true by default, and what you want to plot, you just want to plot a line. I mean some numbers. So I am not used to plotting lines, so not sure how to plot them. I mean, there's this stuff which is divergence, a classical something which plots curricles in lines somewhere, I guess, if I am not mistaken. So curricles in lines have a color and a title. Okay, this is what you want to do. Plot. Okay. Now I can go back here and I can plot this. So this is going to be total plot and per total plot. Let me see. Bear total plot. So the color for bull, it's going to be this one, and the color for bear, it's going to be this one, and this is going to be something like bull total be bull BG total, and this is bear BGP total. Okay, now we need something to plot because this is not it. So this is the thing that you want to plot here, and this is the other thing that you want to plot here. So I think we are done, but before doing that I'm going to test this new indicator because it will probably fail. So far the changes are about removing some inputs, removing some stuff that we don't need, then having this stuff about this, and what the hell was this? So float this one here. Okay, now we're going to test this as a new indicator. So maybe we want to create a new graph because this one is a bit, maybe not. I mean, just do not use this other ones and that's it, I guess. So you want Pine Editor, open, create new indicator, and then you copy and paste this. And there's something wrong here. What was the name here? Yeah, it's something wrong because this should be indicator. Let me take a look at the indicator that we already have, so that I fix the name. So squeeze momentum indicator as this. So overlay, we want overlay to be false true, otherwise this does not make sense. So this needs to be found here. So title, yeah, we just use this, and this is short title. Okay, let's see if we can, if we already have this properly, and then so that we can say something like draft number 2, and now we're going to remove this and say make sure this is an indicator. Okay. Make sure this is an indicator. Okay. So let's copy and paste everything here. Okay, let's try again. Okay, it asks for the script name. Let's use this in this name here. And they will tell me what the hell is wrong with it. Okay, there is no problem with it. Let's add it to the chart. And okay, it's down here. Is this one here? Okay. So let's take a look. Let's see what we have here. So as you can see, there's this green line. So you go up, and sometimes these values go down because you remove gaps. Okay, and then you go up and you go up. And the red one is the one about having red gap. So here, for example, you have a big red gap. Okay, and then you no longer have it. Okay, here you have some red gaps, and then you don't have them. So this is something like when the price is up here, you want to short, and when it's down here, you want to long. But we need the RSI so that it's a bit better. The question is, do we manage? Do we remove? Do we remove the filled gaps when they are filled? So let me see if I can show you an example. So let's write this down because I am not sure. So add a setting to remove partial field. Add a setting to remove partial field gaps distance, so that the gap is smaller than it was originally. That's a bit the question. So that's the question. What do we have? What do we want to do here? Okay. So let me show you an example if I am able to. Okay. So here, for example, you've got this green. What's the name? This green gap. So you can say, hey, this green gap, it's filled 25%, so I'm going to remove 25% from it. Okay, even if it's not completely filled, I'm going to remove it. But this means that you have to do more stuff, because right now what you do is you remove whatever it's filled if it's needed, you know, and that's not a good thing to have here. So what you want to do is, if it filled, you remove it. If it's partially filled, you remove it, then you add it with a new value. That's more or less the idea, okay? But I'm not sure how to do this in a proper way, because probably the lowest value from here. So it's something like is BG partially filled. Okay, that's what it's about. Okay, but so far we have these values are nice, and we shouldn't be afraid about this. So now we are going to, what's the name? I'm going to add the RSI. Okay, so now we can use any of the RSI that we have around here. Let's see how the hell do we do this, because we don't want anything fancier. So we have this protection RSI. Okay, so these are the inputs. Custom time frame, yes or no, length and source. That's what we want to use. So this should be around here. So instead of RSI protection, so what you want is VG train. What's the name? Gapstrain RSI. Yeah, so instead of RSI protection, this is Gapstrain. Gapstrain RSI. And so this is Gapstrain RSI group. I mean, it's also something like the same thing as above here, but I don't care too much about this right now. And I managed not to copy everything properly, so we need to put this like this. So look at this. So which is the source and which is the source? The source, we are going to use it ourselves. Time frame also. Well, not time frame, because time frame means that we need a function, and we don't want to deal with any function here. So far we are not going to have time frame, so we are only going to have the length. Okay, and we are going to have two values, although I'm not sure if it's a good idea. So this is Gapstrain bool RSI and Gapstrain bear RSI. Okay, we have two different RSIs here. So down here I'm going to search for RSI stuff. So protection RSI, it's going to be somewhere. So here what the hell do we do with the length? Let's see if I can find this. So this is the current time frame protection RSI. Yeah. So let me copy and paste this. And now whenever, wherever, so around here you have these two values which we want to plot. So this is current time frame, what's the name that we have given? I mean, I want to edit this down here. Okay, so up here we have used bull RSI, so that's what we need to use. Current time frame, wait a minute, Gapstrain bull RSI. That's it. Current time frame, Gapstrain bull RSI, and we also want the bear one, bear RSI. Okay. So, which is the length? The length for bull is this one, and the length for bear is this one. Which is the value that you use as a source for the RSI? Well, this is the one for bull, and this is the one for bear. Now we need a new input, which is show VGE RSIs, which you want this to be. You want this to be true by default because that's what the indicator is about. However, we will add this so that it's easier to see stuff. And here what you want to do is to turn this off. Otherwise this is not going to work, but we will do it in another commit. Show RSIs, okay. And now we should be able to copy and paste this. And so let me see. So here you want this Gapstrain bull RSI. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be something like this so far. As I said, I'm not sure I'm going to do this with time frame support, but anyhow we're going to do this like this because it's going to be easier later if you want to do anything else. So what you want to do here is just this color or not color. Then we want to do the same thing with this bear one. Okay. Yeah, so this bull RSI plot should be here, and this is and the bear one should be here. Okay, so let's fix the stuff. So the color needs to be this one. So this is the bull color and this is the bear color. whatever we want to plot is this above here, and then this is the new way of turning this on or off. So I think this is the right way of doing this. So this is added RSI. Okay, added Gapstrain RSI, and that's it. So now I can modify this without saving it, so it doesn't mess with me. So I don't want to show these totals, because otherwise this is going to be something not very useful. So now let's take a look. Let's see what the hell happens here with this new indicator. So we have saved it. And it works from 0 to 100, I guess. Take a look at that. And what we want to do is to modify its settings and say, yeah, we want to reset the settings. That's right. So now we have it. Okay. I mean, I am not sure this is doing anything right, but this is working with the latest 14 candles, because that's this is how it works. Stuff. So let's take a look one second with these values that everyone uses, which is 70-30. Let's see if it's any good, because I am not sure about this. Let's do something like this. And something at 30. Coordinates 30. So down here we have this stupid RSI, which we want to use somehow. That's question. Maybe I want to sum these two values in a, what's the name? Maybe I want to sum these values in an arithmetic way. I am not sure about this. So what you have here is these values. So these values. So here it tells me too short. Wait, no. It's the other way around, isn't it? Tells me too long, but is it useful at all too long here? Wait a minute. So once you end here, yeah, it doesn't tell you so much. Let's take a look at the other one, which is this one. So once the green one comes down, it means that it's no longer overbought and that you can buy it again. Now let's take a look at this one. So here it means that you start a new. Yeah, I mean this is not very good for this, because here it means that you start a new way going up. So you want maybe to only take a look at the green one, and then take some conclusions from there. So if you are down here, you want a long, and once you are above this, you don't want a long anymore. However, whenever this is getting red, then you want to close your long, because it's most about short winning. Then you short. This is the right way of reading this. So around here you short. No. So around here you short. That was not a good idea. Around here you short. This should be a good idea, I mean, but yeah, I mean, this was a good idea on paper, but not sure if it's going to go anywhere. The other way around this is not using 14 candles, but 100 instead, and see what happens. See if there is any difference. Why the hell is this so small here? Do not understand. So now, is it any better? Let's see. So if this goes up, then you go up. If the green goes up, then you go up. Otherwise, yeah. So when the hell do you decide to go short? You don't decide it, isn't it? Have it more or less. Maybe here you decide to go short, because there seems to be some momentum of yeah, I mean, we need to test this. Maybe we need to focus on 14 RSI, 14 candles. I'm not sure why this is so big. Maybe there are some more stuff being drawn here that we don't fully understand. So here you go down, you go up, so that means that you are shorting too much. So please do not short here. So yeah, we need to tailor this RSI, and I think we need also to take into account the partial field fair value gaps. Otherwise, this is not going to work properly. But this is the idea, and then you've got this stuff which is 15 minutes. Maybe 15 minutes with 100 bars is a bit better. And you know, it's just about, what the hell is this? Why do we have, what are we plotting that it's doing this so wrong? RSI 100. You know, RSI is between 0 and 100. Not sure why I have to. Not sure why I have to. Okay, so here we are in a range, and then it seems that we have some movement to the downside, and then we go to the downside till some level where we decide that this is oversold. But then yeah, maybe we want this to one T, right? Don't want this. Okay. Yeah, I am not sure what to do with this. Let me see. What about having 28 bars of RSI length? Is it any better? Is this any better? Okay. So do not sell anything here. Now you can start on selling. You can start on thinking of selling. But when this goes up, do not sell anything. Just buy. You can buy here. Okay. Let's see. So here is the same thing. Once you are here, do not buy anything. And do not sell anything when you are here. And do not buy anything when you are here. Well. This could be a way of closing trades when the price goes here or something. But it seems that here it will also close the trade, and that it makes sense because this was quite up. So I am not sure about this indicator. I'm not sure if this is going to be profitable, but that's why we want to test this on the back test. The problem is that it's quite easy to see. Let me explain here. It's quite easy to see. So here you don't want to buy. Okay, then it goes down. When you are here, you don't want to sell, and later on you buy. So maybe this is about using 5 minutes caps and using this as 100 length, so that it's better. Let me see. Maybe we just want to do something like this. And that's it. Okay, let me see if it makes sense. So buy here and sell here. Okay, then you've got this short here and something. Yeah, short. Well, short here because of the green, and then sell here because of the red. Sure about this. So okay, let's focus on this. So let's assume that we short because of the green, and then here we end the short because of the red, and then we find that this is long. We might need some dynamic RSI here so that we don't have to move these RSI values manually ourselves. What about 1 minute? Is it any better 1 minute? Because 1 minute should have all of this. 1 minute should have all of this. What the hell is this? All of these gaps that are filled or not, and so maybe there's something we can learn from 1 minute. But about using 50 candles, is it any better? I'm not sure about this. Is it any better with 15 minutes? Okay, let me see. I am not sure. Maybe we want to add this unfilled stuff so that the RSI is a bit better than this, because otherwise this is getting too much. I mean, what the hell do you establish the limit? That's the question. So in theory this is 14 trades and that's it, but you need to have this information about the price moving, but it doesn't move so much. If you ask me, it doesn't move so much. Let's remove all of this because it's confusing. And let's go to 4 hours and see if it's any better, if it's more obvious or not. So 4 hours, look at that, the RSI, this is an RSI which is from the same, I think it's the same time frame here. Okay, gaps, are taken into account apparently, and this is, yeah, this is the RSI from the same time frame. So what you do here is, so here you notice how it goes up. Here you notice it too, but it's more rough. So here you close the trade. Here you close the trade here. So apparently the RSI, it's much better than this Gapstrain stuff that we have made up. However, this means something or not. There should be some places like this where RSI, no, this is not it. Well, I am not sure what to do with this. Let's bump version. Do not show the totals by default. Maybe I should add the gaps from 5 minutes, but they are filled. Do not show VGG totals by default. Now we're going to bump the version, we're going to publish this, and we will end here. Someone else will have to here. Maybe we can use this for price reversing action, something. Maybe I need to do ADX, because ADX is quite similar to this, but ADX measures the strength of the price, and I can fit these values there. But ADX has some high and lows, so I'm not sure if this is any good. Okay, let me show. We brought down these ideas. Think about writing this as an DI plus DI minus ADX, not as an RSI. That way we can measure strength based on these values. But yeah, strength somehow. Yeah, so let's bump version. So now we need to this is Gapstrain RSI. Gapstrain RSI A2 this needs to be the same thing here. Okay. Well. Not sure what I'm going to do with this. Probably a something. Yeah, not sure about this. Let's find out this new indicator, please. So we want new tag, which is this one here, and this is the indicator. Here it is. Let's edit the beta description. So okay, that's it. So thank you very much for watching this video.